So I had breakfast this morning with the King and Queen, and they're incredible people. I said, your central casting, beautiful people, great people.
Hi everyone. So I'm just traveling downtown Manhattan, about to give a class, which I give every few weeks at someone's apartment. And I got a few messages and calls on a video that was sent to me with what I can only describe as unbelievable if true. And I do hope and pray that it is true. What the word on the street is right now is that actually the Ayatollahs in Iran and his immediate followers have actually been cast out. They are no longer in charge. They're still tweeting, but they're just a few, people stuck somewhere in some bunker, wherever they are, sending those tweets out. Who actually is effectively running Iran is the military, and the incredible part, if true, and again, I hope and do pray that it is, the military in Iran are in direct contact with the United States government. And this is all the ceasefire and everything else, and possibly the reason that Trump got upset with Bibi Netanyahu, although it was Iran who broke the ceasefire, was that because there are factions, and the Iranian military have now taken control, and there is happening right now a regime change in Iran, and the change that we're going to see, God willing, because the people of Iran, as I've said many times, the Persian people are fantastic people, and those, unfortunately, who are supporters of the Ayatollah, their minds have been hijacked, unfortunately. It's like being in a cult. You've all seen the cult documentaries. That's what these people really are. And so, by them coming in and taking over, this could lead to an unbelievable peace in the Middle East, a complete isolation of Hezbollah and Hamas, and definitely the Houthis as well, who are just acting on the behest of this radical Islamist, jihadi, messianic death cult regime that's been in control since 1979. I hope and I pray that it is true. And if it's not, God willing, it will be.
The president lifted and the administration lifted some of the sanctions on Iran to be able to ship crude oil to China yesterday as well. Why was that necessary? And how does that perhaps create the beginning of a pathway towards this more prosperous Iran that you speak of?
Well, I think it was a signal from the president. He's got this uncanny ability to take the temperature of how people are feeling about certain things. I think, this was a signal to the Chinese that we want to work with you, that we're not interested in hurting your economy. We're interested in working together with you in unison, and hopefully that becomes a signal to the Iranians. So I think it was a great decision, and I'm not sure if it was unexpected or not, but I have come to expect President Trump doing these sorts of things that people look at and say, wow, that's a pretty smart, prudent economic move.
We see so much money.
There are a lot of different actors that held on to some Bitcoin in some fashion or another. Now the process begins in terms of establishing the reserve, the actual infrastructure behind it, and getting all of that accomplished. There's nothing in the EO that mandates that report become public, but we could choose to make it public at some point. And we are certainly keen on the idea of accumulation. We've stated publicly that Bitcoin is digital gold. We believe it's in the best interest of the United States to garner as much as we can possibly get. I've said that at every conference that I've spoken at in the last 2 to 3 months. Now, obviously, this has to be done in budget-neutral ways that don't cost the taxpayer a dime. The president was clear about that in the executive order. But I think we have some very creative minds, 2 of which are sitting up here with me, and I think we'll begin moving very quickly on that.
Piece on Substack that the USAID and the CIA helped orchestrate Trump's impeachment?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, it's a crazy story. I mean, you might forget that, the House of Representatives impeached President Trump in December of 2019. Many people may not remember that it was a CIA analyst who was left over from the Obama White House who wrote the memo that led to the impeachment. It was all based on hearsay. The person had not actually been in the room with Trump. Nonetheless, this memo that he wrote relied heavily on a report done by an organization funded by USAID. In fact, its initial founding funding, I mean, now it's tens of millions of dollars, had gone into this group called the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, a name that's not very memorable, OCCRP, but it was basically created as an extension of the State Department and then of USAID. And as you know, Jesse, this is very serious to be involved in an effort to do regime change at home, as we've been discovering as the files have come out with what Elon Musk has been doing. We know that USAID was really about regime change abroad. It was a kind of public-facing regime change operation like CIA, but not covert, more overt. Well, now you see a similar blowback, just like they did censorship abroad and brought censorship tools back home. They were doing this sort of thing abroad, creating a predicate essentially for Trump's impeachment. So I think it's just one of many revelations that we'll see coming out in the next few weeks.
So USAID was involved in regime change abroad and here at home. Very interesting. If you want to read more about what Mike's talking about, go to his Substack after the show. Don't go right now. Go after the show. Thanks, Mike.
Unfortunately, I have not heard anything on CMKM or farmers' claims or prosperities in some time, not for lack of digging. No fun conversation on Zim. I did have somebody worried. We do know that the old Zim, they consider demonetized, but it's bonds. You can't demonetize a bond. I'm told we don't treat them as currency. We treat them as a kind of like a prosperity package where you purchase your prosperity package that was made available to help distribute humanitarian funds. We can do a deeper dive at some point. That's the serious short cliff note. Been told repeatedly over and over and over. Having all your receipts, great, cool, bring them if you want to. Unless you have a very large amount of currency, it is not necessary. They also know that there are many, many people out there that were gifted a little bit of currency or given a little bit of currency. So I was told specifically, unless you have tens of thousands of dollars in currency, meaning that's what you paid for it, not what it's going to be worth after. But before any rate changes, that you just don't need to worry about. It's people that are walking in with, 50 pounds of currency in boxes that may need to have some receipts because that looks suspicious. If they've just got a handful of notes, don't worry about it. I've been told that over and over and over. Probably should start out with that one. I'm up to 2 bond contacts that have, 2 that I know, a third that I do not know personally that has been issued traveling dollars. 2 I can confirm. The third, the source I think is solid. So I believe we do have multiple incidences at this point. They were told, guys, weeks, maybe a month or more ago to prepare to travel immediately upon receiving those funds. And then they never received the funds. Now they've received the funds. So for me, I take that as an exceptionally good sign. I don't know what it means now on timing, but I take that one as an absolute excellent sign. As one of the sources has started travels today, will be traveling through tomorrow to get to their exchange location. So I am hopeful for some solid news in the coming days on that front. Spencer, it was said they were going to receive them and they were waiting for them. I've not had anybody actually receive in quite some time until yesterday. So that one for me was actually a really big one. We had a number of them told them to prepare. They would have it within hours and then nothing happened. That was like 3-4 weeks ago. We had a couple of bond contacts being told to prepare as soon as that those funds hit to travel immediately. Never hit. What changed? It finally hit. In other words, it must be go time.
And that's it. And guess what? They don't have to have no 501(c)(3). They're not afraid of getting sued. And unlike all the churches in town, you can praise God all day long, but unless you recognize the existence of his opposite, recognize his existence of evil, the dark energy, whatever you want to call it. You call it whatever you want to. I'm using the terms that are easy for me, okay? But when you fail to acknowledge like when I went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It was a great church. I loved all the people there. And we had some nice meals, did a lot of fellowship stuff. I liked it a lot. I just don't have the time to do it now, especially with all the disaster I'm trying to deal with. But you'd sit there and listen about the glory of God, and they'd read stuff out of the Bible and explain it to you. And of course, I understood. And I've been around the Bible enough. I'm somewhat knowledgeable, but I haven't read it all the way through, and I need to. But it's okay, because during none of those sermons, they always talk about the glory of God, but they don't, and they talk about the hardships that we go through, but they don't recognize that all the hardships that we are going through is because of the dark energy, Satan, the dark angel. Okay? You can call him what you want to. You can call him Dark Side. You can call him Thanos. You can call him Endgame, whatever you want to call him. Okay? But they fail to acknowledge it. So you're only getting half the information at your church. Do you follow what I'm saying? Why did they talk about Satan in your church?
No, not nearly enough. And the pastors and the priests and whatnot here, they're all part of an agenda, right? They are all part of an agenda, and it's not a good agenda. They're not standing up for what is right, and that's going to change. It has to change. But people are starting to wake. As I said before, people are starting to wake up about the Zionist influence and the Israeli influence in everything. And it's all starting to be exposed now, and this is why Israel has been set for last, right? Because it's all got to come undone. A lot of the satellites, the control, what we see, the things in the news, everything is Mossad, Israel, and Zionist influence, and that's going to end. And as I said, when the new Air Force 2 comes, and when that's delivered to President Trump. And I'm expecting that to happen on the 4th of July too, just quietly. That will be the signal that the Israeli Mossad Zionist influence over America and the rest of the world is finished. It's done. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think 4th of July is going to be a huge day insofar as news and events are concerned. I'm hoping that the RV will actually happen either before or just after the 4th of July. I really do hope that. So, thanks for that, Stacey. Now, Curly had a question before about the new money. We're not really sure what it's going to look like, okay? But, yes, there will be paper money, but it will all be backed by stablecoin through XRP and whatnot like that. So don't worry. And insofar as exchanges and whatnot like that, just remember, in the first round of all of this, you're only going to get 1% of whatever currency you have when you do the exchange, right? Because they want to make sure that you're not going to blab your mouth about getting all this money and whatnot like that, right? Now, I don't know. I have heard from a couple of sources that there may be two redemption appointments, right, or for exchanges, or you will get not so much appointments, but you'll have it all sorted out in your first appointment. But there'll be a release of more funds at the 45-day mark, and then from the time that you exchange. I don't know exactly what the percentage on that is. Some are saying it's going to be 15%. Some are saying 10%, but it's going to be staggered, right? So when you do your exchange, you get your everything will be put into your QFS account that you will have, like your QFS wallet, right? You'll have everything put into that, but the only thing is you're not going to be able to access everything. You're only going to be able to access 1%, right? And the reason why they're doing that is to make sure that you do not break your NDA, right? They don't want you talking about it. Insofar as projects and whatnot are concerned, from the time that the exchange and the R&R happens for everybody. That's normally on the street. It will be a year before they will allow the projects to start. All right, but that does not mean that you can't, get an exemption on your NDA for certain people. Right, you have to give their names and their addresses and their phone numbers and whatnot like that, so that you can say, right, I need to talk to this person so I can get everything ready for my project. Right, so there will be an exception in Chance's RV documents. There is an exemption form that you need to fill out if you need to talk to people about, what money you have, what money you want to use on your projects and whatnot like that. So if you haven't got the RV documents, get in touch with Chance. They're $50, right? But it's well worth the money. Now, insofar as trusts are concerned, while I've got the floor, I went to the Commonwealth Bank here in Australia and I was making general inquiries about trusts. They're using the old system, all right? So they're not fully compliant. The banks here are not fully compliant. They're saying that the trusts are no longer handled by them through the wealth management and they're what they call a relationship manager. They're saying that it's going to a third party outside of the bank, but they're wanting tax file numbers and all of that sort of thing. Well, guess what? That's the old system. So what I'm saying to you is use the if you've got the trust form from Chance's RV documents, fill it out, but don't get it signed. All right? Don't get it signed. Just fill it out, have it all ready to go, and take it into your exchange and say, this is the trust that I have here. I haven't signed it because I've been told that, that the banks are not completely compliant. They're using the old system. Would this trust be acceptable in the new system? If it is, do you have anybody here that might be able to witness it for me? That's what I would be doing going forward. All right. So
that's a good idea.
Don't believe the old system is completely gone, because these banks, they are trying very, very hard to get as much money out of you as you possibly can. And they said they couldn't really give me any more real information unless I had an account with them. What?
Oh, really?
Right. So, they want you to have the ABN number in Australia, which is like an EIN number in America. So and I said, no, it's not a trust with employees. It's not a trust that's going to employ people. It is a family charitable trust. Oh no, well, you still got to have that. No, you don't. So, they are trying to pull one over your eyes. Do not trust the banks at all, right? And Chance has been saying for a long time, and I tend to agree with him, get your money out. Get it out now.
Wyatt, did you hear what happened a couple days ago?
No.
Bank of America's main two branches went. Bank of America.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
yeah.
Baby. Yeah, now.
Yeah, well, they've had problems for a long time.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Problems. If you had a lot of money in there, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Yeah. Yeah. Trustbusters. Hey, it's not funny. People are losing their life savings. And I'm going to tell you, it's not funny. It's not funny. But damn it, I've been telling everybody for months. Brian's probably getting tired of hearing of it. Brian's probably got it down on the clock, and he's saying, okay, it's about time for Chance to tell everybody to get their money out of the bank again, because he hasn't said it enough yet today. But, like that guy in Indianapolis, he lost $175,000. Holy cow. Good God, I couldn't lose $50 right now. How would you feel? And who would you turn to? he turned to me after the fact. He turned to me and he says, "Can you help me?" And I said, "I tried helping you before the fact, and you laughed at your girlfriend and me both. Do you remember that? You laughed. When I was doing a show, you were listening and you laughed at it. And then I talked to her a couple hours later. She says, he's sitting over there laughing. I said, oh, I know. I could hear him during the show, you know? And so I don't want to be the guy that says, now who's laughing? Okay, who laughs last? Well, I'll tell you who's laughing last is the bank that you were with that's got your $175,000. That's who's laughing last. Okay? Now, no, you do not take your fiat money to the exchange. There will be a time to do that, but not at the redemption center or the bank. Okay?
Donald J. Trump on Truth. The Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted. Texas Snake. All indications appear to be we could receive our 800 numbers as soon as tonight or tomorrow and be exchanging close to the 4th of July, using that holiday as some cover for the country knowing what is occurring. Will advise, should I hear more?
I can confirm from Texas Snake, he's on the ball, guys. Definitely on the ball. We will soon celebrate together, right? That opera will come out, right? And just get ready, guys. All right. Remember, guys, that you remain in faith and stay close to God. Thank God for everything, right? Remember, you definitely are chosen by God, right? Thank you for all the support, guys, and thanks for all the love, right? That is what it's about, a community. We're not just a community, guys, we're a family. We've been through so much, all of us, right? And we're still here. We knew this was real, all right? So just guys, get ready, right? And bring your birth certificates as well for redemption, because that's a bond. We don't know how much it's worth. Some people are saying it's worth over $1 million. Guys, that's an extra $1 million for you. Okay, so bring your birth certificates. If you don't know how to get your birth certificate, you can do it online. I did it online, and I got that within seconds actually from my country of birth. Now, I'm sure in America, it's a very advanced country. I'm sure that you'll be able to get their birth certificates online very, very fast. All right, guys, look after yourself, guys, and I'm hoping that Bruce will have incredible news, and I'm sure he's going to nail it this time. I'm sure he's going to nail it. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
From CARPATHIA, admin for the Chosen Ones Telegram. From a great friend who lives close to where the planes fly in, someone has now received spendable funds. That person's group is very happy, and they too have heard we could perhaps receive what we are waiting for into tonight or tomorrow. Send some love to Wolverine. He's in hospital and he's still sending us messages. I know some of you don't like him. You feel that it is like a revolving record, but he's only the messenger, right? Right. I was talking to a whale and he said to get ready as this is really happening now. He has given me advice and wanted me to share this to everyone. When this hits your bank account, a lot of people are going to be very emotional as they have never seen so much money in their bank accounts, and it will be hard for them to control themselves. Please look after your health, guys, as this is going to be too overwhelming for some of us. Love to you all, Wolverine. Now, it's not a taxable event, is what Bruce and others have said, but that's why they've said that we have to produce a trust. If you don't have a trust, the banker will set up an abstract trust, but it will be for 90 days, and you have 90 days to set up a trust. I think the biggest problem at the moment for me is finding the right trustees, because I've approached my two sisters, and it's been suggested to not ask any normies to be trustees, and they don't believe me when I talk about foreign currencies. And I've messaged some close friends who I thought were close friends. Not really. But when you have the money, you'll soon find out who your friends are. And I'll remember them. Also, Wolverine comments about Hi guys, the Yellow Dragon bonds are still available before our whale gets called to go to Reno. The Yellow Dragon bonds are one of the most valuable assets in the community, as they are worth millions if not billions. Send me a DM and I'll send you all the info. I want you all to have a beautiful life. God bless Wolverine. So Wolverine made the point because some people were, especially Fearless Floyd, his YouTube channel is the Fearless Floyd show on YouTube, and he's also got a Telegram channel under the same name. So he did a video where he asked ChatGPT regarding the RV gurus stating they were scammers or not. So he was pointing out that Wolverine shouldn't be selling the Dragon bonds because there's a certain license that you need. But Wolverine has made it quite clear that the money doesn't go to Wolfie. He just passes the information to his whale, and that's the whale is the one that organizes all the, give you the bank accounts. It's basically what I read, understood from Wolfie. So he's just a messenger at the end of the day. Update clarification. Just want to offer a quick clarification after Ginger and I connected regarding the recent spike in air traffic over Reno. We confirmed that our observations clearly involve private jets utilizing designated zones tied to the RV. While the Reno rodeo is taking place this time of year, most attendees would be flying commercial, and those with private jets would not typically be using these specific restricted airspace zones. As many of you know, our team and our trusted sources are highly skilled in tracking and analyzing air traffic. While we can't share further details at this time, we can confidently say people are traveling. A big thank you to Ginger and her team for their diligence, insight, and open collaboration. It's teamwork like this that gets all across the finish line together. A2Z Dreams. Forwarded from A2Z Dreams channel. Update clarification. In regard to my post telling people to get their info straight from the banks and redemption centers. I was noticing a lot of people are feeling anxious, thinking they don't have all the information they need right now. The same questions keep coming up in Telegram chat rooms, and unfortunately some chats do have trolls who intentionally spread misleading information. The good news is that some chat rooms are very thorough, and we rarely see trolls or misinformation, which is a huge plus. That said, I still recommend sticking to the basics for now. Review the checklist of what to bring to ensure you're ready for your appointment. There's no need to stress over rate questions or appointment process details in group chats right now, or for anyone to even get caught up in those questions. Once the 1-800 number is released, everything will become clear. To be clear, I never said the number was out, nor did I imply it. I was simply encouraging everyone to sit tight and wait to ask further questions. Just stay grounded and be prepared. We're almost there. Stay positive. Keep the faith. A2Z Angela. This other document, really important if you make sure that you've got all the things that you need for going to your appointment. This one here, this is done by our leader from one of the Telegram groups that I follow. You'll find it on my Telegram channel. You just click on my channel name and you go to files and you just scroll down. It's this one here. So just to make sure that you've got all your documents. So it's just titled Redemption Appointment Preparation Checklist. Use this checklist to prepare all necessary information and documentation for your upcoming redemption appointment. This form is for your personal use to ensure a smooth and secure setup. So you could write up something like this and come up with your QFS username, your QFS password, 5-digit PIN, email just for the QFS account, username, password for new email, recovery phone, and 2-factor authentication key for your email. So it says here identity and verification. So these ones here, you might only need one ID. So photo ID, passport or driver's license, photo ID, passport or driver's license, proof of address, utility bill, bank letter, birth certificate or citizenship documents, trust document if applicable, currencies, bonds and SKRs. Bring all currencies and bonds, no matter what they are. SKR from one lump SKR, Safekeeping Receipt from Loved One Society. financial structure setup, current accounts, personal bank account details, account already in use. So you'd have bank name, BSB, account number, customer number, name of account, etc. And if you've got any project and humanitarian documents, bring full project presentation and project business plans. A hunter certificate or membership is signed by, that's just with our group that I'm part of. Ownership proof of currencies and bonds. Now, Bruce said we don't actually need that because they already know who you are from the currency traders that sold you the currencies, but bring it anyway. Communications and contact info. And there is a document that they do suggest that you provide is the names of your beneficiaries, because nobody wants anything to happen bad, anything bad happening to anybody. But the QFS account, as you know, only you will have your biometric PIN number, so no one else can access it, plus your PIN number. So what has been suggested is to fill in a document and just say who your beneficiaries are, their full name, telephone number, email address, and address if applicable. So that's what I've got there. But I mean, check Chances Live because he gives his email address, and you can message him at only what Wyatt was saying, it costs $50 for the RV protocol, and ask them that you want a copy of the trust, because it's only $50 considering how much Sagacious asset protection charge. But as I said, it is actually $2,000 and $1,000 after the RV, but they do charge $200 for the abstract trust, and it's under common law. Websites, links to sign up with to receive RV notifications to set up our appointments. If we are not allowed to post on social media channels, follow this private event. dinarrecaps.com is in lowercase, all of it's all in lowercase. dinarchronicles.com, bigcoreuniverse.com, it's got s.o.w. Oh, see, Seeds of Wisdom. So that's www.seedsofwisdomteam.com. Your journey is not the same as mine, and my journey is not yours. But if we meet on a certain path, may we encourage each other.